Hey there, Joy Beland coming at you with another episode of CMMC Explained. I'm super excited this week because we have another star member of our team joining me to talk about the security assessment domain. And this morning we have Marcellus Williams. He is our senior penetration tester and he's been with Edwards for going on 2 years now. Good morning, Marcellus.
Good morning, Joy.
Thanks for joining me. I wanted to start off by saying thank you for your service. I really appreciate all that you've done for our country and continue to do. And it's so great to be getting to know you as we walk through the domain of security assessment and we look at what's involved. I wanted to see if we can start off by talking a little bit about one of the requirements of making sure that you have plans, including like the frequency of your security assessment scans and your vulnerability scans. And talk to me a little bit about what you're doing both for Edwards and for our clients in the way of types of scans and the frequency. What is your experience with this?
So for Edwards as well as our clients, I do sort of a penetration test involving vulnerability scans. What I try to do is I try to identify vulnerabilities that could be accessed internally and externally. And for continuous monitoring for Edwards or our clients, I try and do scans quarterly unless there is a severe vulnerability. Then I try and do it monthly until that vulnerability is mitigated. That way, we can ensure that there's a sense of urgency and that the critical vulnerabilities are prioritized for mitigation.
Mm-hmm. And when you say internal and external, talk a little bit about that, because I know like for Edwards, we're not paying attention strictly to our scope of where the sensitive information, we're doing it for the whole company. But a lot of companies that are going in to get their CMMC assessment, like at level 1 or level 3, are paying really close attention to what is that scope and trying to stay within that. So talk a little bit about the types of external and internal scans that you're doing.
So external would be kind of making sure that their firewall is configured correctly so that an attacker can't get directly into their network. Also making sure that their web applications don't also present an avenue of attack for a malicious actor. Internal would be like running a scan from inside the network to see what an attacker can do once they get in. They usually get in through either some web application vulnerabilities or through social engineering. So the internal scan is useful in seeing what an attacker can actually do once they're inside your network.
So there's a lot to it, and I always like to look at this from what is a gotcha that people may not be planning for or expecting. And we had a fun conversation the other day about the configuration of firewalls, and especially for remote workers. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so a lot of remote workers, in order to access their internal network for their organization, they use what is called a VPN. There's multiple types of VPNs. One common type of VPN is split tunneling, which adds more security than just allowing the internal components of your network to be out in the open, but it also presents a set of challenges. Like for example, there isn't like a dedicated strict connection to the internal network. So a person that is using the VPN for remote work, there's still traffic that is traversing the internet without going through the VPN. So that could present vulnerabilities. If their internal network is compromised, it's possible that there could be vulnerabilities that could enter the internal network of the organization.
Exactly. And it's kind of like a 2-lane highway that's running. Ideally, if somebody's working at home, they would want to have a dedicated tunnel that goes from their computer to their office, and then all of the corporate security tools are in place so that as they do their web surfing or access the server, whatever it is that they're doing, is all running through that set of tools and, filtering even. And when you have a two-lane highway, they have the ability to be connected on their home network to any other devices that are on that network. And they're relying on their home firewall for filtering any of that traffic. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, well, are they aware of the lack of security that's in most home firewalls? Would you agree? I mean, I know that most people are using their Verizon or Time Warner, Comcast router that was shipped to them, and it has no special functional capabilities for security beyond really rudimentary protection, right?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. A lot of people, they rely on whatever their internet service provider provides to them, and they usually keep those settings as default. They use the default password, they use the default configurations. They don't do MAC address whitelisting, or even removing the ability to broadcast the SSID. So you're absolutely correct. And that presents a set of challenges and for the security of many organizations, which creates the challenge of, is it possible to do a penetration test on people on people's home networks when they're working remote? But that also gets into the privacy discussion. So it's an interesting set of challenges that we face in the field of security, especially as a penetration tester.
Yeah, scoping is everything. When it comes to the affordability of achieving level 1 or level 3 compliance. And I just want to make sure that, we're talking about things that are the big gotchas like that a lot of people may not be realizing, even if they only have 2 people connecting from their home to the corporate network to be accessing FCI or CUI data and information. If they're not configuring that remote access correctly, the scope automatically expands to those home networks. And
exactly.
So this has been a great conversation, Marcellus. There's so many more aspects of the CMMC domains that I want to go through with you, so we're definitely going to have you back. I appreciate you coming in and talking with me today.
Thank you.
And really look forward to continuing to explore all of the facets of CMMC and how it might affect those out there who are trying to do the implementations and those who are looking forward to doing assessments. Let us know if you have any questions or any topics you want us to explore. We're here to help shepherd this process for you because at Edwards, we know we are all in this together. Thanks, everybody.